Right, hello, here we are. So, we are here to look at the SpiritBox, and I thought, why not live stream it, just record it in some way, and then anyone who's interested in testing this out can see what I do. Because I do this with every piece of equipment if I can. I have the Gauss and the K2 here, and I'm a big believer that it's no good rocking up on an investigation and then taking all the readings as paranormal when the equipment might just behave like that outside of an investigation. So what I tend to do, in fact I do it with every piece of equipment, I use it at home when we're not investigating. So for example, if I've got my dictaphone and I've never tried it, I take it on an investigation, start it recording, and when it used to be tape to tape sort of thing inside, tape reels. Hello, Kim. When it used to be tape to tape, if the whirring of the mechanism sounded like whispers, and I've not tested it at home, I'd just think, oh, it's whispering we've caught a ghost. Whereas I try it at home, I know what it does when it's not in a paranormal situation. That's my method. Such as leaving, again I don't have it with me, we used to leave a torch on quite a lot, and you unscrew the end so that the components aren't touching the bulb, shake it about, know that it's not going to come on through heat expansion, put it down. We've had communication through torch flashes, or allegedly. Now, what I used to do then was I would try it at home. Hello, Carla. So we'd try torch at home, and I'd leave it on for 3 hours while I watched TV, thinking, well, maybe the batteries somehow still expand with heat and eventually make contact with the bulb, and it starts to intermittently flash. And every time I tried the torch unscrewed, like I can unscrew the end of this pen, so I'd take the bulb end off and think, right, I'll just slowly screw that back in, shake it, it doesn't come on. Okay, place it down, right, place it down on a side. And at home, it never once flashed at all. So I thought, well, I've proved to myself it's not heat expansion. So you go on an investigation, and with a torch, I'd unscrew the end, place it somewhere, and eventually I'd be like, can you turn the torch on? Or yes, if, you know, 1 flash for yes, 2 for no. And the torch would do that. I've not, since that torch broke, I've not been able to find one exactly like it. In fact, I do have them here. So yeah, these torch ends go off too quick, but this one does come out to the degree where you can still actually leave the torch on. Anyway, the point is, I try things at home. The Gauss meter, I tried it today and realised it is dead. So that is another 50 quid I have to spend, because this device is fantastic. We love it. But we're not here to talk about that. What we're going to look at is the SpiritBox SB9, and I ordered this the other day, watching Destination Fear. I've seen them before. We've always sort of sneered at it a little bit, but at this stage in our adventuring career, we're trying things that we haven't tried, basically. You run out of sort of things, your methods, you want to spice it up. And seeing Destination Fear's, Project Fear, I should be saying, of course, now, seeing their results, it's like, okay, we'll give it a go. So what we'll do here is test if the K2 picks it up, because if I'm using this, I don't want to be getting this too near and having it interact with this. So we're going to test the K2 distance, we're going to test it with batteries in and on power. We're going to run the SpiritBox and listen to what sounds it gives out without prompting any spiritual communication. And then I will today test it with asking out, just on the off chance you know. But we need to know how this acts without any spiritual influence, otherwise we're just going to be confusing the results. I want to see whether the stream affects it in any way, because we quite often stream, and I want to put it through my portable speaker, see if it works well like that. So they're not the most exciting stream, I apologise, but for anybody, I'm interested in it, and I think maybe I'm not the only person who finds this sort of thing interesting. So let's look in the little box. These days you hardly get anything. It's such a tiny little piece of kit as well. I mean, this was triple figures. This tiny little plasticky. I mean, it's so hollow and brittle. It comes with, I've not even tried them, but I know these are going to be the cheapest, naffest headphones. We won't be doing that. It has got a speaker inbuilt, and like I say, I'm going to try attach the bigger speaker to it. Right, so if I can look at my TV, because I'm beaming you to my TV. Can't really read the buttons there. So it says sweep rate, top left, and it has a light on the top. That's probably what most of the money goes on, because this can't be worth that much. And they've put a torch on it, so I think they'll charge more. Then we've got sweep forward, sweep reverse. So you can, go that way along the radio stations or backwards. Like any old radio. Volume up, volume down. AM, FM. I think it also says C and F for temperature underneath. I didn't know it did that. And then power. So what I'm going to do first is put batteries in it. Put batteries in it. 3 AAAs. Get rid of that. Try not to break the little thing. And like so. So far so good. Power on. Right, it's got a little aerial. Now this is not scanning right now. Volume. Oh, okay, so that's 30 is the max. Let's go down a second. Right, it says Fahrenheit. Okay, let's put it on AM. Turn it down a second. Right. So what we do here is press it forward. Go. How do you sweep it? This is why we do these tests. Okay. So it's now sweeping. And it's sweeping really fast. Now there seems to be nothing on the AM. I'm going to switch it to FM. I'm going to slow down the sweep rate, hopefully. Let's go, put on search. Right. So these are fragments of radio. Sweep rate. How do I turn the sweep rate down? Okay. You can hear that slowing. You get longer bleeps of radio. You can tell that's radio though, right? That's recognisable as a... So you do get voices anyway. Just power that off for a sec. So you do get those DJs talking, don't you? And that's always been my issue, that how do you know what is a DJ talking and what is a spiritual voice? Because there's no rewind, just rewind the radio station and listen again. It's fallible, like every other piece of equipment. Because it's got a speed thing on it, if a spirit interacts with it, does it stop sweeping? No, it does not. The idea is that you've got radio blip, fuzz, 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 radio blip, and then they use the white noise to put a voice on it. But my thing is, how would you ever really know that it's spiritual? Because you can't rewind it. Any voice, what about any voices that we just heard then? Were they spirit? We don't think so, I hope you agree. It's like, no, that was just the radio. And because I didn't realise they had speed on as well. I can speed that up. Yeah, that's what I think, Chris. How do you tell what is a spirit and what is a radio DJ? Sue, thanks, Sue. You can't. That is the problem. And yet, if you look at evidence caught, like we get, for example, we don't just look at words, it's relevance, isn't it? Which is why, with the Estes method and anything I can control, rather than reacting to what is said, you hear a word and then decide what it means. I say, can you say a number? Can you say my name? Then that surely, while not 100%, gives a better sense that it's spiritual. What are these on the side here? We've got, oh, that's the power in, headphone jack. Input, why does it need an input? Surely an input means that you can literally put things in and play stuff through it. Oh, it's got the temperature clicker button on the side. Right, so what we're going to do, we'll put it back on, and we're going to speed it up and see. Well, let's change the speed and see what would be the most liable for an inexperienced investigator to confuse it as spiritual. Because the words have to be at the right speed to hear a word. Like on Destination Fear, I feel like they got Christian and T, they got laughing, and like Lucy's point was, it was laughing for ha 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 ha. It was too long a period, but she didn't realise that you can slow it down to get more seconds, even a second and a half of radio. But creepy all the same, that's what we're here to find out anyway. So let's turn it back on. So that is not scanning. So I guess my argument would be, if that's stuck on white noise, why don't we just ask out now and have it come through? Why does it need to scan? It needs to scan in my top of my head, because that's what gives us the radio stations that then we can say is a spiritual voice. I'm not saying faking, I'm saying misinterpret. So if I haven't done anything spiritual to this, let's start it sweeping and pretend we're on an investigation. Alright. And we'll change the speed. That's maximum. Snippets. Strong. Alright, we've got a word there from a DJ. If you think you hear a word, comment on it. Right, let's slow it down. Opera. So let's slow it down more. Right, I'm starting to hear words now. Slow it down. Streets. So the more... right, let's get the slowest one. 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350. Right, is that, yeah, 350 speed. That's the slowest setting. Right, so that gave the most clear radio station noises. What's your opinion, if you can comment? Do you think it's better to use it on the slowest so you can clearly hear the radio? Or do you think to have it on, clock stop? Exactly, it is. And that sounded exactly like a sample I've got on an album. It says even a stopped clock. What did it say that? Did it say clock stop? It did sound like even a stopped clock gives the right time twice a day, but maybe it wasn't. Yeah. Putting it on the slowest so you can hear the radio station is where you get the best fake voices, and that would be something I wanted to avoid. So, slower speed was better. It was better, but do you think maybe... Then we'll just get the conversation. You know what it's going to be like, right? I have that on a shelf here. I'm asking out, and let's say it says Angela. There's going to be a debate, isn't there? Well, was that a radio station? And it's like, how do you get around that? But the name on its own, the words on its own through this isn't the be all and end all. We need to tie it in with either Ouija board stuff or, relevance. So I also want to test if it gives off a lot of interference, as I do the stream as well. So okay, so this is going to be you guys, and if I can pull that right back to here, right. So it's above the middle of this chair I'm sat on. Don't think it's a standalone device. Yeah, it needs help. 80 centimeters. So the stream affects the K2 from that far away. Let's turn this device on with the batteries, and not forgetting that I might be using it on plugged-in power at one time or another. Okay. Alright, so almost. Oh, it's still at arm's length, it's still. Where's that the stream? Oh, maybe that was the stream. Oh well. Right, gotta do this another way. There. That is quite a distance. Right, that's 110. 110 centimeters, and it was 80 for the oops. It was 80 for the stream, but that's with battery power. Now I want to actually plug it in. And then we'll run a little test without me saying protection and stuff. And we'll just have a little tester. Right, so no batteries in now. How do wires tangle themselves up when you've not touched them? I can unplug your power for the stream. Plug that in. There it is. Right, that should power up. We were at like 110 before. Okay, still going. To like the arm of the chair. Looks about the same. Looks about electric to batteries is, yeah, 110. Right. So it really makes no difference whether I do use batteries or not. Right, what we're going to do now, we're going to run a session without me asking, just to see what it does. So, what's the ratio? I think slow we're going to do. Try it on slow first. So sweep forward. Has it gone off? Sweep forward. Turn it up. Put it on the slowest sweep rate. 350 milliseconds. Turn it up. Okay, that's an issue. The power thing keeps coming out. So that, maybe if I wasn't messing around with it, I would get that in a proper position. Let's do it again. Power. Sweep forward. 350 ms. Take that. Right, I'm going to go do protection for 2 minutes and then come back. Right, did we get any words? Did we get any words on that session? What you could understand? Yeah, let me know either chat or in the comments if you're watching it after the fact. And no, okay, right. Good. That's good to know. That's good to know, because we want it to not really. So I've protected myself. Now I'm gonna use it. Some lift music. Yeah. The thing is, right, just an idea, if there's nothing on the AM, maybe that's what you better scan in. If you, let's just one more try before we do it spiritually. Right. Push it. Whoa there. That's AM. Let's sweep this. See if there's less real stuff. Right, change that to FM, because that clicking's quite annoying. What? There we go. When I sweep this, it seems to be less clicky, doesn't it? Right, this is 100 ms. goes over it so quick. Go on to 150 ms. Uh, 200. Getting slower. $250. I think I prefer it slower so that I know it's radio. So let's go 300 and then 350. $350.
Mum, a divorce from Joey.
That was clearly something like Mum, get a divorce from Joey. So we do hear words, but I think I would always know. Easy to say. I think I always know radio station. So now I'm protected. Just on the off chance that we get anything from, asking out. Bearing in mind on Destination Fear, they did it for like 20 minutes. 20 minutes, as Lucy said, that's a long time. And I would wonder if, because they weren't doing my control questions, they were just reacting to what was said, eventually in 20 minutes you're going to get a word that you think you can read relevance into. But, they have a right to reply on that. And since Dakota watched the actual episode, me and Lucy did, and commented, maybe you'll get back to me if I say that in the episode. Right, okay. We know there's spirits in this house, we've done the Ouija board sessions. Alright, spirits in this house or anywhere who can hear my voice, I ask you to come through and talk through this device. It's hopefully said to pick up your voices and speak through it. And so I'm going to ask you to say a number or Chris. That's all the options. You either say a number or Chris. You guys ready? Let's go. Scam.
Regional events. Excellent.
Come on. Say my name. What's my name? Can you say Chris? obvious radio. I don't know if it said Richard then, but I think that was a radio anyway. Come on, can someone say a number or say Chris? Put the air all there. The idea is that you're meant to use the station, so it's not really made a difference, has it? Now, if we speed it up though a little bit, this is where I think that investigators get the auditory pareidolia from. So if there's something here, say a number or say Chris, please. Did that say Andy? What the hell? Yeah. Slowing it down to 250. Again, you're going to hear more of the station. But we have to remember that this is in a non-spiritual. That's what you've 250. That okay? So we're going somewhere in the middle. That's good to know. That's good to know. That's because I've never used the one before. Yeah, 250 seems to be middle ground between and full radio station, but that would be the middle. The middle ground would be where it's hard to determine one from the other. I don't know how you would ever be sure. If you had it slower and you had some evidence, you'd hear it be a radio station because it's clearer and it bobs in and out. That's my thoughts anyway. We've done this to see what it works like when we're not in an investigation. So now I've got some idea of what it does normally. If it acts differently on an investigation, we get things that correspond or seem to answer me, which that didn't. And that's surely good. But I still like the idea of not scanning, because just leave it on the white noise. Just leave it on that. So why does it need to scan? That's my question. Can anyone speak through this now? If it said a name, you would know what would you say. If it said a name I knew, well, if it was tying up with something on the Ouija board at the same time, that would be of interest, that's all I can say. It would have to be relevant with something else, either somebody links to the location or something we'd said or... But the reason I try to make it say Chris is because I'm forcing it to say what I want to hear, rather than hearing some gobbledygook and then me translating it what I want to hear. I'm in control of say a number, say Chris. that makes the evidence much more targeted. And I'm under control of it. Now also this has a, like I say, it says what the temperature is. I'm not sure that's even correct. It says it's 80 degrees in this room, and I do not believe that it is. It also has a torch on. Let me turn this down. Turn that down. Where is it? Alright. Is that a temperature? It's got a little button on the side here. Does anyone know what this is? Press that. So that seems to be, what's it say there? 27C. Okay. Yeah, we tried it. I'll try it again, yeah. Yeah. 0.2D. I need a light on it to see what it actually says. Inside. Oh, temperature and reset. 0.5. What's the reset to what? Anyway, let's put it on AM. Right, one click. That's on 250. Let's sweep it. There we go. I've got the new one. That's not got a question mark on it, so are you saying that I have got the new one? PSB7T. I don't know, but it's got little bits on it. It was stupidly priced. Yeah. Alright, cool. So, yeah, I am interested in using it, but I hope it doesn't just behave like that, because that wasn't paranormal. Which on the other hand, I'm aware what it does now. I do want to try it through my speaker and see whether it sounds better, different. Hopefully. Oh, do you know what? I wonder if that is a jack. Oh, that is a jack. But it says input. It doesn't say output. Surely it should be an output. So let's try it in my speaker, which is charging in the kitchen. Okay. Right. Let's see if this turns on. Right, that is on. Yeah, but that's my argument. It will be louder, yeah. If it even picks it up. One of these is probably. Let's just see. See if it goes straight through it. On. Yes. Ooh, that's not sounding good. You can hear that tap, 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 can't you, on AM? Also, something else is going to be, when you're in different locations every time, you're going to possibly pick up more or less or different radio stations which broadcast different programs on different nights. It's just so up in the air, isn't it? But I'll have to read up on the best white noise evidence. I can't knock it until I've actually tried it. You know, the Ouija board is fallible, and I love the Ouija board. Gauss meters are fallible, I love those. We misinterpret things with even seeing hallucinating or our brain tricking us. So it's really not like anything is perfect. It even has a little fold out stand there, and obviously a little carry thing. Worth the money? Not in the slightest. But something new to play with, it's always good to try, isn't it? The story being that we tried the stupid ghost app, which just said what we thought were random words. I think we can all agree that apps are stupid. But when the app was giving out the same things that were coming out on the Ouija board, like we've got Jennifer, and it said, oh, we've got Jane and Jennifer on here, and then Jennifer on the board, just made you pause for thought, really. Well, what do you think? Is that a thumbs up or a thumbs down? We're going to try it. And we know how far the K2 affects it. So we can clear off from that. We know what the stream... well, the stream doesn't seem to affect it from here. So that's it, really. Test over. We've got a few locations being planned. One's already in the edit. Reserve judgment till it's seen in action. Exactly. But you have witnessed what it does. Now we can all watch to see if it does something different. And that's what this is about. That's why we do these things. Whew, right, that's pretty much it. But I do enjoy our little lives. I enjoy them anyway. So those few who were here, thank you so much for your time. Thank you. We're all learning together. That's the good thing. I don't want to mistake evidence. I don't want to be sat on live stream saying, "Oh, that's really good, wasn't it?" When we've just, we found out now that it's a radio station or something. We've familiarised ourselves with the settings, how it sounds faster and slower. We're more prepared. And onwards and upwards. Thank you for your time. I will stop mirroring to my TV, first and foremost, because it's generally how the lives go wrong otherwise. And then I will press cross and hopefully that will end the stream. Next time use StreamYard. I don't have StreamYard because it costs money, doesn't it? It's not just free, is it, Kim? I hope it's not free because I've been needing. I could do that for my Dungeons and Dragons streams. Yeah. I believe it's subscription, which when I get some monetization going, it's free. StreamYard is free. Well, this is the face of a man who's just learnt something quite important. Right. Okay. See if my laptop can put up with that. Because then I can have guests on. I can have Kim on and Carla and whoever else just came on. Yeah, GS Rants. Yes, GS Rants. Thank you for your input on that. Maybe get you on sometime. Right, I'm going to go look at streams. Thank you for your time and farewell.